Good morning. Good to be with you again this morning. Continuing on our series, The Four Pillars of a Healthy Christian Leader, a Christian business leader. And the pillars are healthy relationships, biblical financial values, biblical spirituality, and balanced living. This week we're focusing on biblical financial values, and our series is called Buying Nice Things. And yesterday we talked about, is it wrong to own nice things? And we saw, no, it's not. It's not wrong to own nice things. Today, we're going to talk about money. Love it or use it. And that's going to be our focus. So money is great, and we recognize that. We all need a certain amount of money to a certain point to be able to pay our bills and live healthy lives. And we can see a difference, actually. Good morning, Eric. Good to have you here. We can see a difference between those that live in poverty versus those that live with at least a middle class standard. And there is a difference in their health and mental health, physical health as well. So we recognize the need for that. Unfortunately, money has certain pitfalls. One is that it always is the elusive thing that we never quite get enough of. And we've talked about that before, so I'm not going to belabor that point at this point. Paul does give us a warning in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verses 9 and 10, and this is what he says. I'm just going to read that. But those who desire to be rich fall into temptation, into a snare, into many senseless and harmful desires that plunge people into ruin and destruction. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. It is through this craving that some have wandered away from the path of faith and pierced themselves with many pangs. So there's three things that I want to highlight when it comes to these two verses. The first is, if your focus is money, you will fall into its snare. And this is true, whether you're someone with lots of money or whether you're someone who is really even living in poverty. It really doesn't matter about the amount of money. It's the focus. And so if someone has lots of money, they're not necessarily focused on that money. And someone who is in poverty can still be focused on money. And oftentimes people who are in poverty are focused on money often more than the wealthy are. The end result of pursuing wealth is ruin and destruction. And again, and you say, well, wait a minute here, there are people who are wealthy and they're not ruined and they're not destroyed. And you're right. And it's because that's not where their focus is. They've learned somehow how to make money, or they were born into it, or whatever the situation is, and that did not lead them to destruction and to ruin. The issue again comes to, where is my focus? What is the thing that I'm driven by and driven for? Do I love it or do I use it? And that's kind of the difference there. The problem again with money is not money. Money is not the problem. It's the love of money that is. Again, that statement Paul says, for the love of money is the root of all evil. People often say, oh, money is the root of all evil. No. Money is not the root of all evil. There are people who are wealthy and are not evil people in any way, shape, or form. There are people in the middle class who are not evil. There are people who are in poverty that are not evil. And yet you have people in all three who are loving money rather than just using it. And it leads to destruction. It leads to evil behavior. And it's because their focus is that. Solomon wrote in Ecclesiastes 5, verse 10, he wrote this: he who loves money will not be satisfied with money, nor he who loves wealth with his income. This also is vanity. So he says, basically, if you're striving after money, if you're striving after wealth, if that's where your love is, again, that's where the issue is, because you will never, ever be satisfied. So you can be the wealthiest person in the world. If your focus is money and you love money, and that's what it is, it's all about the love of money, you will never have enough. If you can be in poverty and love money and desire money and strive after money and your focus be on money, and you will not ever be satisfied. And you'll be in the middle class, and the same reality is true. It's the love of money that is the root of all evil. It's the love of money that leads to never being satisfied. That's what Solomon is saying. It can drive you crazy as you strive for more, and you just never get enough. You know, I don't know, a while back we talked about when is enough enough, and that's still always there. You know, when is enough enough? The issue is money. Do I love it, or do I use it? So today, as you go about your day, ask yourself that question. Do you love it, or do you use it? Are you striving after it? Do you always have a hunkering for more? Because if you do, and if that's what your striving is, Paul says that leads to destruction. That leads to these snares that money will set out for you. And even some have walked away from the faith because of their desire for money. So again, ask yourself, do I love money, or am I using it? And may we figure that out. May we figure out how to use money rather than love it. Have a great day. May the Lord bless you.